everyone. Welcome to Chef Shelley's Temporary Kitchen. Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, in light of the fact that I'm taping this around, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, I realized I have a sweet potato pie out there, but a lot of families for Thanksgiving actually make pumpkin pie. I think a lot of it is kind of based upon where you grew up around the country or abroad and what's available. I know my family, my parents grew up in the southeast, and they farmed, and sweet potatoes were a big thing. So we always had our tradition with sweet potato pies. But a lot of places, again, people make pumpkin pies instead. But I realized I didn't have a recipe for pumpkin pies, and I haven't traditionally been a big pumpkin pie kind of gal. But I decided to try a recipe, and oh my God, it's wonderful, so I wanted to be able to share it with you. So very simple. You can see I have very simple ingredients here. My pie crust, by the way, I've already put it in the oven for about 4 or 5 minutes, you know, as I normally do. And this is the first time watching. What you want to do is take your pie crust, and I usually just take a fork, and I can just show you if you're not familiar, but I'll just take a fork and just poke holes in it like so. And on the sides and the bottom, all the way around. And then I put it in the oven for whatever temperature I'm preheating. Right now this was on 425 because we're going to put the pie in for about 15 minutes at the high temperature, and then we're going to turn it down. But anyway, if it's 425, maybe 4, maybe 5 minutes. Basically, you just want to make sure that kind of the dough has kind of cooked for the most part. Don't cook it too much because you're going to overcook it, but just enough, okay? And I can hold up this, I hope it's kind of hot, to give you an idea of how it might look, okay? All right, so what we're going to mix here are just, again, some simple ingredients. I have 3 egg whites and 1 egg, so this is a little different from maybe a lot of recipes that call for 3 whole eggs. This helps keep the cholesterol down as well as calories, but it still gets that filling. And I've got 1 can. I like the Libby's. This is a 15-ounce can, and so we're just going to actually take this out, mix it in, and we're going to stir it up with the eggs, I should say. I'm saying egg because I can see 1 egg. Alright, so make sure you get all of your good stuff out of there. All that pumpkin that you paid money for. Let's make sure you get your money's worth, right? Alright, now, some brave people will actually even get a whole pumpkin, a fresh pumpkin, and then cook it and then puree it. This show is about simple, delicious, and healthier recipes. So this is a simple way, a nice can of pumpkin. And I like this brand because it is 100% pure. So there you have it. The next thing is, and I do this a little differently, I am using, so I'm not adding sugar to it or milk, but instead I'm going to use the condensed milk. And you can find the sweet condensed milk in fat-free. So that's going to be the healthier version of this, okay? So instead of adding all the sugar and the milk, if you will, this just kind of takes the place, but it gives you the reduced fat, okay? And I'm going to use the entire can, okay? This is going to, again, this is bringing all the sweetness. Hopefully the pumpkin is also sweet. Pumpkin can be delicious and sweet. And I've got some stuff going on in the back. I actually made some pumpkin muffins, and so we're going to be snacking on those through the week. So that's that. Now the last thing that I'm going to add, and actually I'm going to go on and mix this together first, okay? And then I'm going to add my seasoning. 4 simple ingredients in terms of spices. I've got salt, nutmeg, cinnamon, and ginger, okay? A pumpkin pie would not be the same without ginger. So those are the 4 things I'm adding in terms of spices. Just mixing this, it's nice and creamy, as you can tell. And then I've already, of course, you'll see on the site how much to add in terms of your seasoning. It'll all be there for you. Let me put this here. I don't want to have any accidents. And this is also, this helps turn the color a little darker. It smells so good. So good, so good. And so you don't have a whole bunch of stuff in here. That's why this is going to sit really well. And one of the things I'm going to do after I make mine, I'm going to show you without pecans, but I'm going to actually, not a lot of people put pecans. I always like, when you've got some kind of a carb, I always like to add some protein with it. So I am going to layer some pecans just on the top of my pie. All right. Okay. So this is all set to go. And now all I'm going to do is just pour it into my pie crust. And then we're going to put this baby in the oven. Okay. It's got just enough for 1 pie. So obviously if you're making 2, you just double the recipe. Simple as that. Okay. All right. So that's looking mighty, mighty delicious. So what I'm going to do now, as I said, I'm going to put it in the oven for 15 minutes on 425 degrees. After the 15 minutes, I'm going to decrease the temperature then down to 350, okay? And then again, it's all about your oven, how much longer you keep it in. I would say another 30 minutes should be fine. But I'm going to show you how it looks so that when yours start looking like that, you'll know it's time to take it out, okay? So let's go on and put this in the oven and then we'll come right back. Okay everyone, here we are, we're back. So if you remember, I put it in the oven for 15 minutes on 425 and then I reduced it to 350. And for me, mine took just about 40 minutes. So I checked on it at 30 minutes. The top part of it was not quite done and then just left it in a little longer. So that's kind of what you have to gauge for. You'll see the crust is a nice brown, but not too brown, and a nice deep orange, almost like cinnamon looking like. So here is your pumpkin pie. It's still warm, so I don't want to cut it. Just, I would say, serve it with, my husband likes adding some whipped cream to it. I like having a little vanilla ice cream. And as I mentioned, if you want, you can put some pecans on it. I'll likely put some on the sides when I'm eating it, just as I said, because I like to have some protein along with my carbs. So there you have it, pumpkin pie. Thanksgiving is around the corner, or any time during the year, because again, you can always purchase a can of pumpkin versus having to have fresh pumpkin, but have at it. But for simple, delicious and healthier recipes, certainly try this. And as always, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. You can just click on the little circle with my picture and you can subscribe. What that'll allow you to do is receive notice when I've uploaded an additional item that I've cooked, or recipe of some sort, and you'll get notification every other week. So thanks again, take care, and hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.